So the question, of course, is who is influencing you? Who influences you when you're making decisions, when you're working on projects, when you're doing things? I think we're all shaped by many, many things, never just one thing. I think we're shaped by a variety of items, a variety of people, a variety of situations, nature and nurture, things we've studied, learned, discovered for ourselves. It's an ongoing discovery. It is for me. I am continually wondering why it is that I'm influenced by certain things. One of the things I've discovered is that things come in and out. They phase in and out of my consciousness, of my understanding of things, right? Things phase in and out of my vision. And if I don't grab them quickly and turn them into something quickly, they don't happen. They don't get turned into something of greater value. This happens to me with films and music a lot. With films, even slower. It's even slower, the process. Because what happens is, I see something, I'm enthusiastic about it, I like where it's going, I research it, and I start writing a script about it. I write it. Now, there's a point there where I either lose interest, or I feel this project's going to be way too costly to make, or who do I pitch this to? Who's going to be the perfect broadcaster or the perfect studio for this? And then all of those businessy things get in the way, and boom, stop the flow. And it's really difficult. I've learned that if I can verbalize my story, my script, if I can verbalize it quicker, I can probably get it done faster. I had that with Reptilian Moon. That concept was much more interesting for me because I verbalized it. I actually did it in the form of chapters, verbal chapters. And my thing was, if I can just verbalize it quickly, get it out of the way really fast, and then get someone to just take what I dictated and commit that to paper, then that's going to work out fine. And when I got the screenplay back, I went, great, now I can fix it, now I can do things with it. So that project moved along faster because I let that little, I used that instead of writing. Not that I don't like writing, I love writing. It's just that writing takes time, and writing, you're editing, I try to just write and not edit, but there's this thing inside of me that it's editing while I'm writing. I'm writing, and then I edit, and then I write, and then I edit, and that doesn't work for me very well. I've learned to just chuck it down. Throw it down, throw it all in as quickly as possible, because time is fleeting. And that focus is so important, to be able to stay on top of a project. The only issue, though, there is that Reptilian Moon's a complicated film. It's a complicated concept. It's filled with special effects, and it's a great concept. Complicated, very complicated. It's so complicated, and because of that, I just went, there's easier projects to make. So I focused on something else. My mind went from, okay, the screenplay's in place, great, but I'm going to focus on another romantic comedy or something a lot simpler to make. I know who my buyers are. I already know who my broadcasters are. I already know where I'm going to release it to. I know who my sponsorships are, where they're coming from. Makes it easier. And those are the challenges. Those are the challenges that I experience a lot. With music, same thing happens. I had an idea when Pokemon Go started becoming really big. I had an idea to create a piece of music, a very quick piece of music called Pokemon, and throw in some voice pieces and do a few things. And that happened like that overnight, right? That happened overnight. Partly because I already had a piece. I actually had a piece already in the background that I was sort of toying with that had nothing to do with Pokemon. But I thought, you know what? I'll probably throw that in and make it a Pokemon track. I can create thousands of pieces easily. It's very easy for me to just turn that into Pokemon and get some traction in the market from that. And that sort of worked quite nicely. But you know, I've had all kinds of pieces in my head and written down for all kinds of situations, all kinds of things. And sometimes it's actually really easy to go into one of those and go, I need one for this particular subject, and here's a piece that I had written before. So don't be too quick to disregard pieces that you've been working on for a long, long time. Some of those pieces are very, very valuable, and they become very valuable. And sometimes even just remixing it or revisiting it in some way with, you know, can make it work. I don't know if you remember Rick Astley. Many years ago, Rick was this great voice musician out there, but he wasn't known until he met a gentleman who was a sound engineer and producer who was able to very cleverly add drum beats, which made the songs so much more listenable to, you know, and that became a phenomenon. That made it a phenomenon. There's a lot behind that particular story, and I'm not sort of going to go deep into that, but it is primarily a situation of what's influencing you. What is influencing you? I get influenced by George Lucas a lot. You know, for me, Lucas's empire is something to be looked at and understood and discovered continually. So yeah, Lucas, Spielberg, Disney, J.J. Abrams, lots and lots of filmmakers, you know, that I particularly admire, and musicians. But yeah, who's influencing you?